Woo, let's get nuts indeed, guys. What is happening? Welcome to Film Junkee Live. Man, we are getting close to Christmas, aren't we? Oh, hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please do so. You guys are awesome. Hit the like, thumbs up. Make sure you do that. And hey, if you stay to stick around, leave a comment. It helps the algorithm. So hopefully you guys are doing pretty good. Let's see, what do we got here? This is going to have to be dumb again, but hey, we're good. All right, who's out there? Let's see. We got Buster Barnes. Yes, indeed. I guess we're talking about the Supergirl trailer. That's good. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Supergirl, talk about the hype, talk about, the views. We don't have like a full-on, all the views. That hasn't been tallied up yet, but, we'll still talk about that. We got Clone Avenger right here. I think the Supergirl trailer looks decent. It didn't overly wow me like I hoped, besides that 1 second of Lobo looking perfect. I enjoy the comic book, so I am still excited for it. There you go. Also, not a fan of Creme Design. I think that was a big, that was a big one right there. A lot of people are like, what the F? Why cast an actor that looks like the comic book design and then radically change it? Yeah, I see that. What's going on, Mr. Droga? We had an awful shooting oh yes, that was terrible, yeah. God, that's close to where you are. Yeah, you're down in that area. Near your work. You're too close to home. Yeah, that's awful, man. Yeah, that happened yesterday. Yesterday was a weird day. Let's face it, yesterday was a weird day. Man, I tell you what. Yesterday, just all kinds of weird stuff was happening yesterday. And I was gone most of the weekend. I was out of town, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I have a little funny story. Let's see, we got Jared. See, I don't know why that, again, the YouTube's doing the thing. Jared Ames. Anyways, I'm hyped for Supergirl, but overly excited about Street Fighter. Yeah, we're going to look at that too. We're going to look at that as well. So, let's see what else we got. We got Iveden. What's happening? Howdy. What an awful few days. Yeah. I know. I'm definitely going to talk about that. What's going on, Mr. Ghoul 919? What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? We got Fear Jason right here. Good to see you. Always great to see you. We got Hunter Iggy right here, the Film Junkie. Did you see the fake article? Oh, yeah, I'm going to be talking about it. You don't think I'm going to be, calling out the bullshit that Cosmic Book News puts out there? I called it out last week. Gonna call out some more this week. So, yeah, we get to the tweets. We're definitely going to be talking about that. Rant off a little bit. What's going on, Dell? Good to see you, brother. Fallout Season 2. Yeah, I still have to watch Season 1. I am so bad at watching series. See, you know what I need to do? I need to find time to review them on the channel. If I review it on a live stream, I'll keep up. But anytime that I'm not reviewing on a live stream, I fall off. Like the Welcome to Derry finale happened last night. I am on episode 4. I got to catch up on that too. Wait, where did my... Yeah, I know. It's maybe there could be something. I don't know. I don't know why it does that when it comes to that. What's going on, Jose? You tell your Dodgers stop buying more players, okay? Zombie Madness. I don't get why James Gunn is beating around the bush. Brainiac is in the movie. Just say it. Say it. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. Yeah, James Gunn's gonna James Gunn. That's what it is. What's going on versus Seed? Oh my God! Welcome to Dairy Any Machete. Yeah, I know. I just have to catch up. I know. I'm only halfway through. I suck because I watched the season premiere. It's a fantastic show. I mean, I would even say it's better than Stranger Things right now. I mean, I'm just saying, I think a lot of people can actually agree that the quality, even though, Netflix pumped in a bunch of money of Stranger Things, I'm not saying Stranger Things bad. It was all in on volume 1 of season 5, but there was just, it's, it doesn't go full on. I mean, Welcome to Derry just goes, fuck everything. We're showing like kids getting killed and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that Stranger Things doesn't, but of course it's still not, it's just not the same. It's just interesting. But again, You know, when people are saying like Andy Muschietti sucks, I'm like, are you? I mean, he shines with this shit. Obviously, we're still kind of, it's up in the air about the whole Batman thing. And he did a good job with Welcome to Derry, Batman Brave and the Bold. If he directs, yes. And that's the thing. It's like he could have those dark elements when it comes to, I mean, the Batman stuff was cool, at least in the Flash. Derry wrapped yesterday and Fallout tomorrow. See, I gotta catch up, man. And yeah, R.I.P. I still haven't watched. I haven't watched Spinal Tap 2. I love the first one, but I haven't got around to all that. So, what's going on, Brian? Sup? My wife, who loves raw gore, said the gore in Derry went a bit too far. Whoa! Well, there you go, right there. Yeah, that first episode. Holy shit! That first episode, I remember my mouth was. I went, wow, that first episode. I won't say anything, just in case you know nobody's seen it yet. But I'm telling you, I mean, and who knows? It might get a season 2. I don't know if there was any plans for a season 2, but it seems like that series, a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people watching it. I had conversations about it too with people over this weekend. So, but yeah, again, guys, hit that like, thumbs up if you'd be so kind. Had a good weekend. I did a Vegas turnaround trip. Not the type that you're thinking of. I've done one of those Vegas turnaround trips where you just go, you know, and, you know, you go to the strip and drink and gamble and whatever the hell. I've done one of those. It wasn't that. So I have family that lives in Vegas, which is, you know, I've been actually wanting to move to Vegas. And it's not, when I say Vegas, I mean, Vegas is not just Vegas. Vegas has, you know, they have towns around it. It's all new. It's all nice and everything. And my dad actually used to live there before he moved back here. Sucker. Anyways, moved back to California. Who does that? No. But, so basically what happened was I got up on Saturday. Me and my brother drove up to my dad's house up the hill. And then from there, my dad and his wife and the two of us, we drove to Vegas because my cousin who lives out there, who's lived out there forever, was having like a Christmas party, white elephant, all the stuff, tacos, which was great, delicious. Yeah, so it was good. I got to see a lot of family. And it's only Vegas, like from my dad's house, it was like 2.5 hours. That's why we did a turnaround trip. So we went there, had fun, you know, did all the things, got to see family I haven't seen in a bit. And it was fun. And then we got back to his house and we stayed at his house. We stayed at his house up the hill. And then we just woke up and watched football. And yeah, I mean, the first thing you wake up to is like what Droga said was like, man, we got a, you know, terrible shooting that happened, you know, when it came to Australia. That was, you know, condolences to the families and everything when it comes to all that. My God, just terrible. I mean, I literally just like wake up. And I'm like, you know, of course, naturally, I look at my phone, start scrolling through Twitter, and I'm just seeing like videos of, you know, people on a beach. You know, it's like a Hanukkah thing. So naturally, it's all that stuff. You know how everything is now in the world when it comes to all that. But just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible, man. So yeah, 16 people killed. And, you know, I don't know. It's all just crazy. It's all just crazy because it was funny because when I got home last night, it was just, you know, I kind of disconnected, obviously, this weekend. I wanted to, you know, obviously I'm with family. Phone just stayed in the pocket, not looking at Twitter, not looking at news. So when I got home and then I fired up my computer, you know, you get back to reality and everything. You know, obviously there's still a lot of that. And then all of a sudden, like the Rob Reiner stuff started coming, and then we'll talk about all that. You know, that's obviously going to be the topic for tonight. The Rob Reiner thing is just absolutely insane. So that was all coming through, and then crazy thing, you know, because of all the, you know, the shooting thing that happened in Australia, you know, because it was essentially, you know, it was a terrorist attack on, well, essentially Jews. So there was like a video that was going around that happened where a car, it was caught on a camera, security camera on a house of, you know, there was like this house that a Jewish family lives in, and they had decorations, like, you know, just decorations, like Hanukkah decorations. And this car pulls up and starts firing at it, and then someone yells, "F the Jews," and that was a video. But what blew my mind about it, it was in the town that I grew up in California. I was like, holy shit. That's what I was like, holy crap. That was in the town I grew up in. I went, geez, man. Insane. So yeah, yesterday was just, there's a lot of weird things, man. When I get home and fire up the computer and just, holy crap, just totally just insane. Absolutely insane. Move to Henderson or Green. Yeah, Henderson is where I would move. That's where my cousin lives. I have a couple cousins out there, actually. But, yeah. Anyways, good to see Stephanie. So heartbreaking. Right when Hanukkah was starting, yeah. It's just like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's terrible. And yeah, I mean, it's terrible no matter what. Terrible no matter what. You don't want to see anything like that. But it was just weird. It was just crazy because it was in my hometown. My hometown, where I grew up, which is not far from here. You know, I'm about a half an hour away from it now, 25 minutes to a half an hour. But it's just like, it blew my mind that it was in my hometown. The town I grew up in, that happened. I was like, geez, just absolutely insane. So, yeah, everything's just crazy now. And then there was even talks about they like the FBI like arrested people who were part of these groups that were planning on doing bombings on New Year's Eve in New York City and LA. That shit's happening too. I saw reports about that they arrested like numerous individuals of these groups that were planning on doing bombings. Things getting crazy, guys. It's getting crazy out there. Just be careful. That's why it's like sucks. Like you want to go to public events, but you just, you know, when you see this stuff happening and we get it fed to us instantly. Just crazy. So, you know, this holidays, you know, we got the Christmas coming up. Hug your family. Have fun with your family. Disconnect from the internet. Eat some food, drink some drinks, whether it's alcoholic or not, you know, do all that stuff. But it's just been absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. So, all right, let's go ahead and start diving into the tweets. Let's start diving into the tweets. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, I got to make sure I mention that. Boop. Sorry, just writing something down that I want to make sure. All right, so, okay. Yeah, I know. Australia doesn't get stuff like that, but I mean, it can happen anywhere. It really can just happen anywhere. It's crazy. All right, so, God, I'm like making notes here already. Yeah, it's crazy. It could just happen anywhere. You know, I live in California. I mean, I live far away from LA, but you just never know. That's why it's like, you know, do you want to, I mean, you know, New Year's Eve, Christmas coming up? I mean, it's all crazy. All right, let's start off with this. Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith has a promise, guys. He has a promise that he will, in fact, make the sequel to Dogma before he dies. Before I leave this best of all possible worlds, absolutely. So, Kevin Smith, oops, turn that off. Kevin Smith, he apparently has a sequel to Dogma. You know what sucks, though? Like, he had a sequel to Mallrats, which, Mallrats, that's where I found Kevin Smith. I found Kevin Smith when it came to Mallrats. I remember Mallrats showed up on Stars, and, you know, this is when I was younger. This was like in 1996, 7? I don't even know when it was. But, you know, obviously no digital, no internet, no nothing like that. So I remember when Mallrats came, when it came on Stars, it was on Stars. I watched it and I immediately fell in love with it because I was just like, it was such a ridiculous, stupid, funny movie. And, you know, it had a good dialogue. It had movie dialogue. You know, I instantly fell in love with Jason Lee as Brody. I was like, oh man, that guy. I like that guy. That's me. That's, you know, I saw myself. I was like, yeah, comic books, movies, he's that guy. And I still love Mallrats. And he actually wrote a sequel to Mallrats. But the sad fact of the matter is, Shannon Doherty passed away. So I don't think that's actually going to be happening. I know he was trying to make it happen, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen now because of her passing away. But then again, I don't know. Maybe there's something changed. I don't know. But hey, if we get a sequel to Dogma, that would be interesting. I just wonder who would actually come back. That would be interesting. Zack Snyder. We got another Zack Snyder thing. Okay, so update on any of the Instagram stuff that Zack Snyder has been posting, because he did post a couple of things here. So let's dive into Zack Snyder's. Oops. Let's dive into Zack Snyder's. Ooh, yeah, there we go. His profile right here. So let's see what we have here. So he's got a couple. So the last one was that. Okay. So Zack Snyder posted this image right here. Again, these are beautiful images. And, of course, this Stuart Martin looking, you know, still he doesn't look as Hugh Jackman right here, but interesting. Really good picture image right there. Love that. And then he posted Mira. He posted Amber Heard photographed in Iceland with the Leica Q during production. I remember when Amber Heard, when she like posted an image of her like in this costume. She couldn't like really sit down in this costume. She was showing that she really couldn't bend her knees. You should find that video of her posting that. It was pretty funny actually. So there she is. And then there was this one right here when it came to his favorite, one of my favorite Superman images, which I think we can all pretty agree when it comes to this image right here. I mean, it's an awesome image. I know and then the sad part, you know, when it comes to the James Gunn and Zack Snyder discourse of the fans out there. I mean, I've seen the James Gunn fans shit on this image right here because it's like, why is Superman just fucking, you know, just aura farming instead of helping these people? It's like, do you not know visual? Do you not know comic books? I mean, that's all part of it. It's like, yes, he eventually did help these people shut the fuck up and everything. And then even Larry Fong, because Larry Fong, of course, did the cinematography. He actually chimed in on this too. We'll look at what Larry Fong posted. Look at this freaking crazy guy right here. Jesus, Ed Screen, 55 millimeter Dream Lens Leica monochrome. This dude has what? 2% body fat. I mean, I know he said that he had a pretty grueling diet and exercise routine. But he's like one of those guys that naturally is lean. And, of course, he just took it to the next level where you could see, like, every little crease in his muscles. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But, yeah, he looks like an insane person. And then you got this. Check this. This is pretty freaking sweet. The incredible work of, Terran Tactical. What an honor to own this custom 2011 Combat Master from the master himself. Thank you, Terran, for the craftsmanship and passion poured in every detail. I think like when you see that Zack Snyder, that video of him doing like the shooting, I think it's from that. I think it's from those guys. And I love that they put that in there and it's showing like, you know, you got Justice League, you got Dawn of the Dead, you got 300, you got Watchmen, and then, of course, Sucker Punch right in there. So that's pretty sweet. And then speaking of Sucker Punch, always an honor to work with the amazing Jamie Chung right there, looking great. And then there's a really cool shot. And this is Zach just doing some of that clay work that he does, wearing the signature V-neck T-shirts. And then let's go ahead and let's look at the Larry Fong. What did Larry Fong say about that? That's right. This is what Larry Fong right here said when it came to that shot of Superman. Fun fact, it was an overcast day, but we got the tallest crane possible and put the brightest light available on it. That way, we got the flare, the backlight, and an eye line for the actor. So that's pretty sweet. So they did all that. I mean, I know like there's just movie magic, just absolute movie magic that they do right there. I mean, some people were like, holy shit, it was all practical. No. There were some visual effects that took place. Obviously, just look at the behind the scenes of BVS. You could see how they achieved it. But again, that's what you have to do. This is the kind of stuff. The sky, real. And that's what Zach is really good at when it comes to that lighting. And he's, talked about the process of doing the lighting with the cinematographers and everything. So good stuff. All right. Here's the whole Zack Snyder stuff right there. But yeah, I've always loved that image as well. So imagine this, guys. The Avengers Doomsday comes out. And obviously we're kind of going, who's going to pop up? Obviously they're not going to give everyone, every name. They're not going to give it out there. But just imagine this right here. Imagine if they're doing like multiverse stuff. Obviously, the multiverse saga. It's still the multiverse saga. It's still going to be doing stuff like that. But imagine if Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker shows up and they decide to make him look like this. What the F? Yeah, you know you love that. Come on. Yes, you love that. You love that, don't you? I mean, put him in that shirt. I mean, obviously somebody made that with AI. Good old AI. But yeah, they put him in the signature Peter Parker from the 90s animated series shirt and the jeans, and they gave him the hairstyle, and he's even got New Balance shoes. That would just be hilarious. I'm just saying. Definitely not going to do that. I'm just saying it'd be funny for a gag. I don't know. It'd be funny. Or even put Andrew Garfield. Well, Andrew Garfield's not. He doesn't look like that Peter Parker. See, Tobey Maguire does. So that's just funny. I saw that on my feed, and I thought that was great. I thought that was funny as hell. So, all right. And then, of course, yeah, there's Street Fighter stuff, which, yeah, I mean, all right, yeah, let's talk about Let's go through this here. Why did they deleted one of them? That's, wow. Why did they delete some of the posters? Okay, well. So when it comes to Street Fighter, I talked about it on the Vodka stream, that Street Fighter sneak peek. 46 seconds of pure insanity. And I think everybody just went, holy shit, they're really leaning into the video game, the insanity of the video game, which is what they should do, because let's face it, adapting a video game is not easy, and they've tried to adapt Street Fighter, 2 or 3 times now, and it looks like they're actually going to be kind of nailing it. But I remember I was sitting in my seat in the movie theater to watch Dust Bunny, and all of a sudden they start dropping all this, and Andrew Koji, he looks awesome as Ken. I think Noah Centineo looks great as Ken. Did I call him Ken? Ryu, whatever you want to say. And then you got Ken right there, obviously Noah Centineo. And then a lot of people, of course, were saying that he's miscast, and it should be because Ken's supposed to be like half Japanese or whatever the heck. You know how it is. Everybody gets upset. You got Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns as, I don't even know who this is. Is Akuma? Yeah, Akuma. Because I didn't play enough Street Fighter. I played Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter. I didn't go further into it, so I didn't really know the character. Now, when it comes to David Dastmalchian, I am saying his name wrong too. I still am not sold on him as Bison. I still think it's just miscast, and they should have got somebody bigger. But at the same time, I'm like, well, he's still a great actor. He's pretty much great whatever he's in. And a lot of people, even when I was posting about this, they would say like, well, Raul Julia was like the best thing of the 90s Street Fighter movie. I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely correct. And I hope that he does the same thing, because Raul Julia was the best thing about the 90s Street Fighter movie. He chewed up every scene that he was in. And it sucked too, because Raul Julia was dying of cancer when that was happening. It's pretty sad, but yeah. Somebody in my mentions versus Seed also said that I also put like John Cena as M. Bison. And I was like, oh yeah, he looks pretty damn perfect, the face and everything. And it was like, yeah, why didn't they do that? I don't know why Geek Vibes Nation. I think they probably deleted the girl ones because there was a lot of perverts. You know how it is. Probably a lot of pervs, but we got Orville Peck as Vega, and then we got Reina Villan as I don't even know what that character. Never knew that character. And then, I mean, Jesus Christ, we got 50 Cent. We got 50 Cent as Balrog. I mean, they nailed the hair. And Zangief, Oliver Richards, just looks pretty cool too. And then, even when it comes to Dalsayam, Vidyat Jamanal looks pretty good. E Honda, which is Haruku Goto. I mean, they said, fuck it, we're just going to go as insane, And then and Andrew Schultz. I like Andrew Schultz. He's a comedian. I don't know this character. I really don't know this character. Hibiki. Some people were complaining about it, that it's not as comic accurate as, or not comic accurate, but video game accurate. But, and then you got Eric Andre as Salvage. I have no idea who this guy is either. I mean, of course, there's like Cody, what's his nuts, the wrestler who is playing Guile. I think he looks good. Yeah, the trailer's absolutely insanity. But I mean, I think it kind of shocked people because it looked just pure insanity. But I'm all for it. I'm like, yeah, lean into the insanity. There might be some cooking that's happening in this movie. And then, of course, people got pissed off at Andrew Schultz because at the Game Awards, the whole cast was there. And he said, Andrew Schultz is a shit talker. If you don't know who Andrew Schultz is, he's a shit talker. And, again, he's a comedian. He's got a podcast, two popular podcasts, to be honest. So he'll stir some shit, but he's a good marketer. So there was a video of them on stage where he was saying that, he's all, hey, we're not the only video game movie that's coming out next year. We got Mortal Kombat 2 is also coming out. So, hey, let's get the Mortal Kombat cast out here. And then they weren't there. The Mortal Kombat cast wasn't there. And he goes, yeah, they're not here. They don't care about you. They just care about money. We care about money too, but we also care about you. So, he was talking shit. But it's great because on Twitter, cast members of Mortal Kombat 2 were responding. So, again, I mean, it's not like it's going to be a Barbenheimer situation, but hey, do that. 2026, we got Mortal Kombat 2 and Street Fighter coming out, two very popular fighting games from the 90s that came out around the same time as well, and that were, and then, of course, the sequels of those games were, like, coming out throughout into the 2000s. Yes, talk shit. That's good marketing. They should do that. I think that was smart. That was smart on Andrew Schultz to do that. So, but yeah, pretty much pretty crazy. And then yes, I don't know if you guys saw that the Odyssey prologue that they released in the IMAX theaters when it came to One Battle After Another and Sinners, they got released out there. Of course, naturally it showed up on Twitter. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the prologue, guys. I didn't watch the prologue. I was just like, no, the prologue is meant to be seen on the biggest screen possible. I'm not watching that. Get the fuck out of here. Nope. Not even going to do that. I don't like watching bootleg stuff. I hate watching. I've said that many times. And of course I say that when I did watch the Avengers Doomsday fucking leak that, of course, naturally, I got it sent to me many times. I was like, so I did watch that. But I'm, who cares about that? I'm just kidding, but I didn't watch the Odyssey prologue. I was like, nah, F that. Not gonna watch that. All right. What else we got? Okay, and we'll talk about that. Oh, you guys know I have a crush on her. I've always had a crush. Who doesn't have a crush on Haley Steinfeld? And of course, naturally, what do I always say? I always go like, fucking Josh Allen. God, Josh Allen married that woman. And now, I'm sure you guys saw this. He now threw a touchdown in her. So, yeah. Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld expecting their first child. Congratulations to them. Good on them. That's awesome. Someone check on Shamik Moore. Woo! Yeah, that guy. Yeah. The guy who voices Miles Morales in the Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, he kind of let it be known that he had a little thing for Haley Steinfeld. It's hard not to. She's she seems like a nice gal. So, but it's like, yeah, no. But again, I can't be too mad at Josh Allen when he keeps on giving me points and, he's winning my fantasy football games. He's giving me points so I'm in the playoffs in my fantasy football league. So I can't be too upset. Hopefully he keeps on doing what he's doing because that dude is just crazy. And I won last weekend and I won this past weekend. Yeah. So yeah, he's sobbing. I don't know. Yeah. He's like, I am not. Yeah. There were so many people talking about that. Ugh. Oh man. And then this kind of felt, some people were talking about this, but obviously, we lost the legend that is Rob Reiner, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But we also lost an actor that was very predominant in the 90s. And then he kind of disappeared. He kind of fell off. But, man, he was in one of my favorite movies in the 90s. And that is, of course, Peter Green. Well, two of my favorite movies in the 90s. I just hadn't seen Pulp Fiction until probably... I don't think I saw Pulp Fiction until in the 2000s. But, yeah. So, Peter Green, who played, of course, Dorian, the villain in The Mask. And then, of course, he played Zed in Pulp Fiction. Now, that was his best-known roles. He was in a lot of movies. He showed up in a lot of movies, but those were his notable roles. But he died at the age of 60. They found him in his New York apartment right there. Drugs. I mean, that's what it was. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It was, I saw a video of him. There was a video that was circulating online that somebody was recording, and he was at some like convenience store, gas station or whatever. He was riding a bike, and somebody was like, "Hey man, you're what's his name?" and blah blah blah, and he looked really bad. He looked really skinny. He looked frail, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, he was probably heavy into the drugs, man. Probably heavy into drugs." So I'm guessing that's what happened. I didn't see a follow-up to when it came to all that, but I'm sure that that's what was the case. If you saw that video, I saw that video probably like 3-4 months ago. So yeah, he did not look good. He did not look good. Sadly. All right, what else we got? If I'm going to call out scoopers, I might as well just bring this, this is the reason why I want to do this. You have to call out the scoopers. You have to, because the scooping game is just getting absolutely ridiculous. And I've always tried to call out the scoopers, and sometimes nowadays, and it's just like, God damn. It gets annoying because scoopers have turned into, essentially they've turned into Jake Gyllenhaal's character in Nightcrawler. I would say that is a good comparison of how these scoopers can be, trying to, put out these rumors. And essentially they put out spoilery stuff. But most of the time I think there's probably a percentage of bullshit. I'm not saying that they don't have sources and they don't find out things. I'm sure they do. Again, I always say scoopers, never betting 1,000, never betting 0, okay? But at the same time, you got to call out when they are notably like putting out bullshit. You have to call it out. And when it comes to my time to shine, hello, whatever the hell it is, who potentially could be, just an offshoot of another scooper, because, Twitter had that weird thing that showed like, hey, there's two scoopers with two different names that are from the same area. That's kind of interesting. But at the same time, when it comes to this whole Avengers Doomsday, the trailers that are going to be coming out, My Time to Shine said, the Doomsday trailers are all boring, but will the movie be good? Okay? But then, not too long ago, on November 6th, I have seen the Doomsday trailer, and it's pretty good, and it has a lot of doom in it. So that was the bullshit. That was the bullshit. 100%, that was the bullshit. I guarantee you, that person did not see the Doomsday trailer back in the beginning of November. I guarantee you that was complete bullshit, because now when we're finding out that, yes, there's going to be like 4 different trailers or whatever the fuck, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, they're all boring now. Yeah, okay. Jesus Christ. It's like, did you not realize that you posted the bullshit before you posted, when you actually probably did see a trailer now? Oh, look at that. I swear, you got to hold on. You got to hold on. It's ridiculous. And there's going to be some more I'm going to call out. All right. What else we got? I don't need to post that. Definitely got to put that in there. All right. Another thing I'm going to call out as well, the hypocrisy that comes with the DC universe, big time, because there's just hypocrisy. There's hypocrites everywhere. And I've been seeing this a lot because obviously we had the Supergirl trailer that came out. So naturally, and it sucks that I have to say that it's, the loud people in the Snyder fandom, that all of a sudden, yes, yeah, when it comes to Sasha Calle's Supergirl or Melissa Benoist's Supergirl, oh yeah, what the hell? Oh yeah, those are perfect. Look at what we had right there. Now we got this This BS in the DCU, Mealy Alcock? Oh my God, what the hell? And that's absolutely crazy. And like this person right here called it out. The revisionism is insane. CW Supergirl and DCEU Supergirl were so much cooler. Y'all called them woke garbage. Super woke, SJW girl, DEI girl. Yeah. And then this guy right here, he showed up in my mentions many times where he posted this recently. No thanks. We are sticking to the OG Superman and Supergirl. Obviously, this guy's a diehard Snyder fan and only a Snyder fan. But he's tweeted stuff out like this. WB is the worst team manager that owned the best sports team on the face of the, talking about that. And then replacing them with Twilight Boy and Latina Supergirl is getting rid of blah, 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 blah. The hypocrisy is just all over the place. And I already know right now that those same guys are already getting their positive Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern tweets going. As soon as Lantern shows up, they're going to be like, Kyle Chandler, what the hell is this? Ryan Reynolds killed it. The Green Lantern movie is actually pretty damn good. They already have those posts ready to go. And I'm like, why do you have to be such a hypocrite? Why do we have to be hypocrites? You didn't support that. You hated the I saw so many people that I knew were shitting on the Flash and shitting on that Supergirl who are now all about that Supergirl as if Sasha Calle's Supergirl is really like full-on Snyderverse. I'll give you a little hint. She's not. She's Snyderverse adjacent, sure, but not full-on Snyderverse, okay? Shut the fuck up. So ridiculous. Just the ridiculousness. But, that's the DC fandom for you. That is the DC fandom for you. And the DC fandom loves to listen to these guys. Oh, cosmic book news. Oh, here we go again. So last week I talked about how Cosmic Book News and Matt McGroin actually admitted that he kind of like put out a bullshit rumor out there when it came to, of course, Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan, and the Saudis. And the Saudis were going to be restoring the Snyderverse. Oh, yeah. And there's, of course, a bunch of people that, in the fandom, that were eating it all up. Of course, because that's just what happens. And I hate that shit because I'm like, why are you going to take advantage? Why are you guys believing that? And this guy's been bullshit ever since the Snyder Cut. I've been calling this guy out since the Snyder Cut. When he's putting out bullshit when it came to the Snyder Cut. And of course, he blocked me on his personal account and, of course, the Cosmic Book News account. But what's kind of funny is like now with Twitter, like I could actually see posts from Cosmic Book News. And they got a new one because, he's going to continue taking advantage of the Snyder fandom, the gullible Snyder fandom, the one that's like, hey, don't kill the hope. Don't kill the hope. Yeah, I'm not killing the hope. I'm just saying that you should actually listen to credible shit and not listen to this guy because you're just going to get disappointed. But, of course, Matt McGroin right here is going to pivot. He's going to pivot to the next thing. And here's the next thing right here. James Gunn out at DC as Netflix eyes darker direction, claims rumor. Good job, buddy. Good job. By the way, you were the one that was also saying that Netflix is not going to get it. It was going to be all about what you were reporting, that it was going to be, of course, the Saudis and probably Paramount or whatever the hell. Yeah, darker, that means, oh, yeah, you're going to start leaning into like, oh, darker, that means Zack Snyder, of course. I see what you're doing there. Of course. Of course, that's what's going to be the case. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe that people actually still buy that bullshit. It's absolutely insane. I mean, that's why I kept on saying pump the brakes. It's kind of funny because, after the whole news about Netflix buying Warner Brothers, even like the Cell guys, who I'm not saying that they were immediately believing this kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's like, when they were like 100% saying, oh yeah, it's all happening, it's like, no, it's actually not. That's why I said pump the brakes. Like you guys are thinking that things are actually happening, things are kicking into gear. Like Zach was like invested into these conversations. Like, no, he was not. James Gunn is still going to be doing his thing. Things are still coming out too. And then it sucks too when I see like, when it comes to this discourse, which of course Mr. McGroin right here is going to be taken advantage of and continuing to take advantage of. I always love it when I see either Gunn fans or Snyder fans like talk shit on the appearance of the actors. You know, we saw this heavily when it came to Henry Cavill and they were talking about his hairline and stuff like that. And now we're seeing that with Amelia Alcock. I'm seeing like the normal guys that end up getting, that end up getting ratioed on Twitter talking shit about how she looks because she's not the conventional Supergirl, which is kind of funny because it's like, that's what's wrong with that. I think Amelia Alcock is adorable as all hell. I think she's a pretty girl. But yeah, I used to see that like when it came to Cavill, and now I'm seeing that with Amelia Alcock, and it's just like, Jesus Christ. And it's always the guys who themselves do not look, and like, you're going to comment on somebody's looks? Have you seen what you look like? And then most of the time, they're hiding behind a profile, and God knows what's behind that profile. I'm like, the fact of the matter is, hey, can we just not do that? How about just not do that? Okay? You can have criticisms about certain things, fine. But why are you guys going to resort to the appearance? That's what's so crazy. And that's what these guys do. They do that too. They've done that to me as well. These guys have definitely done that to me as well because, they've seen me in real life and they know I'm vertically challenged. Yeah, Amelia's hot, dude. Yeah. So some of those previous images that she had, I was like, at first I was like, oh yeah, she's cute, but she's got that bitch face, that resting bitch face. But now that she's gotten a little older, I was like, oh my God. And then she had a couple of photo shoots in the past few months. I was like, holy crap, yeah, she's a beautiful woman. She is growing into a beautiful woman. All right. Let's see what else we have. Ugh. I really wish that, our president, Donald Trump, I wish he would have I wish he didn't have to comment about the Rob Reiner thing. It was one he could have sat out, but of course he couldn't, and he made it about himself, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Ugh. I am an FBI agent. Apparently, we're going to be getting a Point Break TV series, and it's not going to be a remake. AMC is developing a Point Break TV series. The series will be set 35 years after the events of the 1991 film. All right. I mean, they've already talked to Keanu Reeves then. He's got to be showing up, right? He's the only one that can show up. Obviously, Patrick Swayze, may he rest in peace. But of course, when it came to Bodhi, we all knew that was the end for them. Gary Busey, yeah, that's not happening either. But so that's going to be interesting. So it's not a remake. You're not trying to redo it again. It's going to be taken. So I'm going, is Keanu Reeves going to star or is he going to show up? Seems like that's the case. And I'm like going, all right. How do you make it take place now 35 years later? Are we going to have Bodhi got some girl pregnant? So then it's going to be his son. That's probably what they're going to end up doing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but when I see this, I'm going, there's no way that Keanu Reeves doesn't show back up, right? Has he ever been on a show? I don't know. Has he been on a show? I don't know. I don't know if he's ever been on a show. I think he probably has. I wouldn't, but Keanu Reeves is not one of those people that go, nah, I don't do TV. It's like, no, he would do it. I think he would absolutely do it. Also, okay, I hate this right here. Fuck all these guys. Fucking, this is ridiculous right here. I don't know if you guys saw this. But again, influencers are actually, they're probably more like Jake Gyllenhaal's character in Nightcrawler. This just, this makes your blood boil. This is gross. Absolutely gross. Influencers gathered outside the Los Angeles home of Rob Reiner after the legendary director and his wife, Michelle, were found stabbed to death. Video shows several content creators clashing with police and others at the scene. Clashing because they're trying to get something in here. It's absolutely ridiculous. They're trying to get some kind of scoop, trying to get views, trying to all that, trying to capitalize big time on someone's death. Fucking gross. I mean, that is Nightcrawler shit right there. That is 100% Nightcrawler shit right there. It's just that, ugh. It's absolutely gross, man. I mean, yeah, it's just getting worse and worse. I mean, I see like some of these influencers and I see some of the stuff they're doing and I just go like, how does this person get popular? Like, how does this happen? Some of these influencers are fucking millionaires, multi-millionaires. And I'm going, how did this person, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Like, how is this person even, it's crazy, And I can understand maybe if you were like doing journalism and you were trying to be there at the home, like, and trying to report on it, like, hey, what was going on? And you were there that night or something like that, and maybe you were working with the police, but this is like the next day. This is the next day, and they're trying to do this kind of shit. And then they're clashing with the police. That's not how you do that shit. I know, they're like the new paparazzi. They're like the new paparazzi. It's great. It's crazy. When it comes to that new Street Fighter sneak peek, though, I mean, I will say, I'm happy that, my guy, anytime, like, when I played Street Fighter, I always chose Guile, okay? Colonel Guile was my guy. I think he was a lot of people's guys, and it was just like, I mainly used him anytime that I was, like, playing with friends or whatever. He was just the guy I would use because, it's Guile, he's badass. He's got a fucking ridiculous flat top. I should dress like him one of these Halloweens. Maybe I'll do that. And I'm sure after the movie comes out, yeah, the flat top is going to be a favorite when it comes to next year. And here's Cody Rhodes posted a selfie, and look at that glorious flat top. That flat top is just, it's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but I mean, come on. It's like they pulled Guile out of the game. That thing is absolutely glorious. The insanity right there. It's just, And I'm glad. Some people are like, okay, they shouldn't have done that. It's like, no, they should have. When it came to the Jean-Claude Van Damme, which was a miscast, a fucking miscast, if you think about it. Him being Guile, they didn't want to give him the crazy flat top in the 90s version. They gave him you still got to be military because, I mean, in actuality, the military would not stand for that fucking hair. But again, it's a ridiculous fighting video game. Come on. That flat top is absolutely glorious. Jimmy Cams. Jimmy Cams has now joined the Billionaire Club. That's right. His movies had made $1 billion. Now he has a net worth of $1 billion. That's right. James Cameron is a billionaire, Forbes reports, just days before, of course, Avatar Fire and Ash opens in theaters. Cameron's movies have collectively earned nearly $9 billion at the global box office, and his share of those earnings form the bulk of a personal net worth now estimates at $1.1 billion. That puts Cameron on the extremely short list of filmmakers who have reached billionaire status, including George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, Tyler Perry. That's right. Cameron stands to make at least $200 million before taxes and fees on Avatar Fire and Ash, assuming the movie lives up to the lofty box office expectations. Crazy. But you know what's kind of crazier? A lot of people are pointing this out, and it is kind of funny because awkward. He filmed Billie Eilish's little concert movie that's coming out. And Billie Eilish went viral because she called out billionaires for having too much money and nobody should have billionaires. You know how that whole thing is. And now her movie is directed by a billionaire. I just love it when that shit happens. It's just funny. It's just funny because celebrities like to do that whole thing, It's like, I get it, fine. Yeah, call out the billionaires. They should do that. But it's just funny. I just find it funny, because that video went viral. She was like calling out Elon Musk and all that stuff. And You know, oh yeah, but because you don't like his politics. But I'm like, are you gonna mention something about Jimmy Cams now? I mean, he's a billionaire. You were calling out billionaires. You're gonna call him out, but now he directed your concert movie. It's just funny, you know. It's just ironic, you know. It gets funny. It is funny. That's what happens, though. But it was just like awkward. But of course, she's not going to do that, and I'm sure her concert movie is going to look glorious. You know, nothing against her. She's a very talented woman. All right, that's all the tweets right there, guys. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, let's start diving into the DCU news. All right, got that. Let's make sure I got all my little talking points here. DCU news. All right, so of course, naturally, the Supergirl trailer was all we were talking about here. But let's talk about some other things before we start really delving into the Supergirl like views and the hype and all the kind of stuff. But I mean, we got some things too. We definitely got some things too when it comes to interviews that were released also when it came to the trailer. We'll get to those in a little bit. But yeah, let's talk about some things right here. First off, Clayface. We got some Clayface crumbs from Brandon Davis. Come on. DC Studios is set to receive the first full cut of Clayface in January. So Brandon Davis interviewed James Gunn, and yeah, that was like one of the things that was mentioned. So yeah, we got a little Clayface crumbs, so they haven't gotten a full cut yet. I mean, obviously, there's still going to be some VFX that are probably going to be involved. What's good about that, though, is Clayface, apparently, according to James Gunn, he did say that there's a lot of practical effects also in it, too. So that's cool. That's definitely cool. Let's see. Okay. Let me get all this. Yeah. All right. Then we go over to lanterns. All right. So Friday was, again, and it's so funny because I love it when people, and this is why I just go like, all right, guys, I don't know. I'm going to put it on a fucking t-shirt. I don't know. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes when it comes to a lot of this stuff because we had lanterns and there was like a suspicion that there's possibility that we might get a lanterns trailer. And I remember seeing on my timeline going, oh yeah, they have no faith in Supergirl, so they're already going to be releasing the lanterns trailer. You know, and then of course we saw a little tidbit, a little bit of thing like leaked out when it came to HBO Max series. And yeah, and it showed finally we got a little bit of tidbit. We see Kyle Chandler, we see Aaron Pierre, and it was like, oh shit, there is some lantern stuff right here. And here it was. Of course, you guys probably did see it.
I've trained my entire life for this.
You're not ready to get up front of the class till we're in.
I love this right here. Puts a ring down and jumps out of the car, and the car's gonna start flying off the cliff right there. I am so curious. Of what happens next right here, because that's going to be very interesting. But yeah, we get a little bit of the tone and get a little bit of whatever. Aaron Pierre, Kyle Chandler, they're looking good. But everybody was passing around this because this little screenshot was, oh yeah, well, I guess they're going to be releasing a trailer for all the HBO Max stuff. Look at that. 1 p.m. Pacific time. Oh, well, we're getting that trailer. No. All it was, it was just Aaron Pierre talking from the set and showing
hey guys,
the footage.
Aaron Pierre here on the set of Lanterns. I'm so excited to share a sneak peek of our series.
This guy has the fucking pretty eyes, goddammit.
I hope you enjoy it. Roll the
And did you see that? They redacted when it's coming out.
Lanterns. I'm so excited to share a sneak peek of our series coming out.
They redacted that. That's pretty funny. So then they just showed the same footage that we already saw.
You're not ready to get up front of the class till we're in says you are.
Hey guys, it's Aaron Pierre.
Jesus Christ. Dude's a freaking vampire. Anyways, Yeah, that's all that was. It was just kind of, I just laughed. I'm like, yeah, see, everybody was either building it up or shitting on it, of course, the extremes on, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's all it was. They were just a little sneak peek. Who knows when we're going to get that first trailer? Probably won't be till next year. But at least we got something else besides that one image of them walking. I'm good with that. I'm good with the fact that we got a little bit more. We got moving footage. At least we got that. That's what I'm happy about, at least. All right, so what else we got? All right, oh, Jesus Christ. All right. So we got a couple things. Ugh. Man, I don't even want to talk about this stuff. The Batman Part 2. All right, so a couple things when it came to the Batman Part 2. I mean, obviously we got certain scoopers out there, that are, getting dangerously close to turning into Jake Gyllenhaal from Nightcrawler, that are just kind of, and you know what I'm talking about. You know I'm talking about Jeff Schneider. That guy. And anytime that I see the in Schneider, when I see that being the source, I just ignore it. I ignored it. And there was a rumor that Brad Pitt was in talks for possibly having a role in the Batman Part 2. And I was like, oh, I bet you that doesn't turn into anything. And sure enough, it's not. Brad Pitt will not be in the Batman 2. Early discussions were reportedly said to have taken place, but never materialized. So naturally, again, when it comes to these scoopers, I'm not saying that Snyder doesn't have some good sources that got some information. But of course, he has to glorify it. He has to lift it up. He has to add more to it, where then it starts circulating. But then what happens is it's like, oh yeah, well, it's not going to happen. And then, of course, there's even some more mention when it came to the Batman 2, when it comes to Scarlett Johansson's character, who she might be actually playing, I think, Harvey Dent's wife. I don't know. Again, there's just, when I see his name as the source, I just don't really even look into it. Because they're saying, oh yeah, they're going to be casting for a Harvey Dent, and she's actually going to be play Harvey Dent's wife. And they're actually going to be big time doing heavily when it comes to the Long Halloween, which could check out, but again, I just don't like to take anything that man says. Brad Pitt could be, make him Commissioner Gordon in the DCU. I think it'd be fine. Let's see, what else we got? Okay, and then we got this one right here. That's, all right. Okay. Now we move over to Man of Tomorrow, and who's going to be playing Brainiac? And there was a nice little rumor that was being circulated. Now, this was like a grouping of scoopers out there, of course, that were basically it seemed like I saw that it was coming from the in Snyder, but apparently that wasn't where the rumor actually, the foundation of the rumor. But they were saying oh yeah, there's a short list, and guess who might be playing Brainiac? Dave Bautista, which wouldn't hate it, and some people have fan cast Dave Bautista as Brainiac, but I'm going, I like him more as a Hugo Strange, maybe. He could probably be that a lot better. But then, of course, again, this is where Jimmy Guns needs to, of course, go to social media and debunk. Oh boy. Let's forget a moment. I've never said Brainiac was in the movie. I freaking love Dave Bautista, and I have many ideas for who he could play in the DCU. But he and I never discussed a role in Man of Tomorrow, nor have we discussed it amongst ourselves at DC. In addition, truly, none of the names from the 6 or 7 I've seen rumored for a role have auditioned or been discussed. So Clay's, whatever the hell that guy's name is, and Sam Rockwell and Matt Smith, not going to be Brainiac? Is that what we're kind of alluding to right here? I love it how Jimmy Guns is still playing the game. I'm like, hey, I didn't say that Brainiac was in the movie, guys. We know he's in the movie. Just like he didn't say that Lex Luthor is going to be in the movie. I don't know why Jimmy Guns is, I don't know. I guess whatever, he's having fun with that. I mean, we all know that Brainiac is, in fact, going to be in the movie, but it's not going to be Dave Bautista. It's not going to be Dave Bautista, and again, that's why they always like these fucking scoopers, and this is what I love. I love it when Jimmy Guns does this. Now, there's another thing that when it came to James Gunn responding to somebody online that this is where it goes. Hey, Jimmy, you didn't need to do this one right here, because a lot of people were pushing back on this whole exchange right here when it came to Superman. All right, there's that. I gotta get rid of that. Hold on. There's this right here. James Gunn, I'm having a friendly argument with a friend. I'm Superman. I don't know. I'm Superman when Clark. I don't know what that means. I'm Superman when Clark was talking about how we thought Crypto probably felt. I'm with Superman, I'm guessing. Probably felt scared and alone. Was this meant to be a way of Clark imply this is how he feels himself? I think yes, but my friend says no. And Jimmy Gunn said right here, as far as I'm concerned, your friend is correct. He's primarily feeling empathy for a dog and letting Lois know why he's about to take drastic measures, not feeling sorry for himself. And then this person responded right here, then you missed the point. Superman is all human and all alien. He's all of both? He clearly remembers feeling different, lost and alone, and that's why he has empathy for the dog. I love it how somebody comes in and goes, hey, no, you got it wrong. I know you wrote, directed, and produced the movie, but you got it wrong, motherfucker. You got it wrong. It's like, dude, you're talking to the writer and director. And then Jimmy Gunn said right here, the point is Clark is willing to move mountains even for a dog that he mostly finds irritating, and he has empathy for all creatures great and small. Someone who has empathy for others solely based on their own experiences is a narcissist. They're not really feeling for the other, they're feeling for themselves. That's absolutely not what Clark is experiencing here. He's truly scared for Crypto. Dun, dun, dun. James Gunn doesn't understand Superman. No, he does. And that's what I took from it. I don't know about you guys. I took exactly that. When I saw that scene and even had discussions with other people, I was like, oh yeah, Superman loves so much. I mean, that's why even the squirrel, he saves the squirrel. Like he's all about, he'll move mountains to save lives, whether it's human beings or creatures, animals. And that's what I thought. I'm like, he's willing to, even though the dog is a pain in the ass, he's like, oh man, he's scared. I gotta find the guy. Now, the people who are passing this around and pushing back against him, and of course saying, James Gunn doesn't understand Superman. These people, obviously, and it's sad fact of the matter is, they're the diehard Snyder fans that are saying all this stuff where, I mean, James Gunn could say like, oh yeah, Superman should fly with his right hand up, his right fist forward, not his left fist forward, and then, or something like that. And they'd be like, James Gunn doesn't understand Superman. And I'm just going, again, deja fucking vu. Because I saw this shit when Zack was making Superman. Zack Snyder doesn't understand Superman. Zack Snyder doesn't understand Superman. It's the same shit. It's the same shit over and over again. And what I noticed when I would see certain people that were passing this around like, holy crap, he's saying that if you don't, if you had experiences and you saw that in somebody else, he's calling people narcissists for that? I'm like, you forget, he literally has the word solely. And that's one thing that I noticed with all the tweets of the people who were losing their minds about this, they were not mentioning solely. And I saw so many people respond like, you're misrepresenting what he's saying here. He said solely. You're saying that he just flat out was saying you're a narcissist if if I'm going to rescue somebody and, because, oh yeah, I feel for this person because of my own experiences. Oh yeah, that's a narcissist. No, he's saying it's solely. I mean, like, that was the thing. But the biggest thing here though is, hey, James Gunn, don't even respond. You had the first part was fine. That's the thing, and this is what, again, and this is where I push back on Jimmy Gunn's. It's like, you had the first part, you explained the first part, that's all you needed to do. You needed to come back. You didn't need to do that. And see, this is where it's like, oh, no, don't engage anymore, Jimmy Gunn's. You didn't need to engage more. You did not need to engage more, but he did. It's like, no, just stick to debunking and doing all the other stuff. Don't get into squabbles like this. But he saw that, and then he did that, and then of course a lot of people like went with it, and like James Gunn doesn't understand Superman. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I don't know about you, but that's what I thought that's what I took from that scene when he's talking to Lois. He's like, yeah, he's probably scared. I was like, man, this Superman wants to just save people, animals, and everything. Like, that's what they were really trying to show right here. And, you know, and when it comes to All-Star Superman, which is what this is heavily based off of, you get that represented in that story as well. So I'm just kind of going like, guys, James Gunn understands Superman. It's just there's different interpretations of Superman for sure. And then you guys have this James Gunn derangement syndrome. So then you're just like losing your minds over this because you hate the man so much. And it's like, oh, well, now we got something else that we could throw at James Gunn. And again, it's just the same shit that I was seeing back in the 2010s when it came to Zack. Zack doesn't understand Superman. Zack doesn't understand Superman. It's like, God damn. And again, that's why like when we're talking about narcissists, I'm like kind of going like, God damn, some of these like diehard fans that are on whichever side, which they say the other person doesn't understand Superman. Because what do people always say? Not my Superman. Not my Superman? You're kind of sounding a little narcissistic right there. I'm just saying. Not my Superman. I don't like what this guy's doing. It's not mine. It's not what I like. It's not what I like. Fuck you. I mean, this is what sucks about fandom now. It's because people are like, you know, and they scuff like, it's like, okay, you don't like it. Move on. Move on. You don't like it. Good God. It's just like, Jesus Christ. It's so ridiculous. But yeah. But again, but I will still say, Jimmy Guns, he did not have to do that second response. He didn't have to do that. It's like, stick to just debunking. That's all you need to do is stick to debunking. Anyways, all right. Done with that. Now let's talk about Supergirl. Supergirl. Now, we don't have reported all around platforms. I don't know when we'll get those numbers. You know, it hasn't even been a week yet. It's only been, 5 days now? 4.5? So we don't have like the full-on numbers. You know, like we'll probably get those sometime this week of like, hey, in 24 hours, this is how many views the Supergirl trailer got. You know, when it came to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all the platforms. Apparently, when it comes to TikTok, Supergirl's actually doing fucking really good because I even showed you guys like when it came to like the banners like on Times Square and stuff like that, they were already putting in people's comments like live. They were putting it in live. I'm like, well, that's pretty smart. Got to get that TikTok crowd, and Supergirl probably a good one to fit in that TikTok crowd. So yeah, when it came to a lot of things, obviously this was posted right here where it was showing like all the different like, you know, comments, and they were just immediately trying to post all those right there, which totally makes sense. You know, that's how you got to hype this up nowadays. But the fact of the matter is, you know, the Supergirl trailer, I will say, it's not as hyped as, of course, the first Superman trailer was. It's not. I mean, I was looking at some of those, you know, looking at the YouTube numbers. Yeah, the YouTube numbers are not nearly as good, like especially like within 24 hours, within 4 or 5 days. It's definitely not the same because I was, you know, obviously when it came to the first 24 hours over all the platforms, I'm not sure if the Supergirl trailer is going to get here, but I was looking at the search right here. It was like 250 million views, you know, on the different platforms and everything. And when you actually look at the at YouTube, and that's all we can kind of gauge this on, is ignore that one because that's just clickbaity freaking, look at that clickbaity goddamn thumbnail right there. But 21 million views currently right here when it comes to the DC channel. When it comes to Warner Brothers India, you know, it's got another 7.2, 5.1 on Latino America, Warner Brothers. So I mean, it's getting views. Just not getting as much views as Superman, which makes sense. I think that was never going to be the case. But I think the hype is still out there. And blowing up on TikTok, like I don't know those numbers, but doing that whole thing where you're just bringing up like TikTok comments, smart. And because I think very much this version of Kara fits in the more TikTok niche, which is a little scary. Not going to lie, you know, for an old guy like me, but I think the hype is there, but it's obviously not as big as Superman was. But that doesn't mean anything. You know, trailer views don't mean anything when it comes to box office. We've already talked about that. But I think the hype is there enough. But I think that first official trailer that we get, which we're probably not going to get till March, probably, I would say February, March, maybe even April. That first official trailer, hopefully that one, because obviously if you read the book and you've seen some of the beautiful artwork in the Woman of Tomorrow book, that we're going to be getting some of those beautiful, like we get a beautiful shot. Maybe we'll get a shot of her writing comment. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some of that, you know. That's what I'm kind of wondering. Are we going to get some of those shots? Some of those space shots? But yeah, naturally there was a lot of like, oh yeah, it looks like Guardians, which it does. I think, but it's so funny because I was like, yeah, I think everybody was going to, I was even saying that. I'm like, oh yeah, people are going to compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy. There's no way that they don't compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy. If you've actually read the book, it's a space adventure and there's literally like a, in between the issues, you know, in the full book. I mean, they're sitting at like a bus stop and it looks like something from Guardians of the Galaxy when you look at it in the book. It's kind of funny. I'm like, that's why I just go like, all right, when I saw it in my comments, when I saw it on my mentions, I'm going, okay, you're saying, oh yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy 4. I'm like, so original. I mean, you're actually giving credit to James Gunn because, you know, now that when it's like a superhero space adventure, everybody just goes Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's like, wow, he seemed to have made a signature. It's just like anytime you see like a, you know, slow motion in a, you know, when you have like soldiers with shields and spears, everybody's like, oh yeah, it's like 300. I mean, it's like, you're actually giving credit to James Gunn in, you know, when it comes to that at least. But hopefully it could have its own little, like Craig Gillespie puts his own little aesthetic, his own little tone onto it, but I guess we'll see. But that first trailer is going, that's what's going to be very interesting, is to get the story and to get, because I'm willing to bet we didn't see too much. We saw visual effects of her, you know, laser eyes flying and spaceships and whatnot, but I'm just kind of wondering what are the kind of shots are we going to get for that first trailer? We get some of those shots that you see in that book, which honestly, it's funny because some people are going like, wait a minute, why are people saying that? They're comparing this to Guardians of the Galaxy, and they even showed like shots, like specifically in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, because even though Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the story was kind of shit, it wasn't all that great, some of those visuals were actually pretty fucking awesome, like when it came to like space shots. So maybe we'll get something like that. I don't know. And it's funny too because I even saw people like going like, the Street Fighter trailer is more hyped. The Street Fighter trailer more hyped. You know, and yeah, I mean the Street Fighter trailer really just was like, holy shit. And of course, opinions are opinions, but I mean, the official Street Fighter, it's only at 1 million. I mean, it's not like it's, you know, it was like too crazy. You know, it's not like it was getting, and even on Paramount Pictures Legendary, 1.8 million. It's not like it was. It's not like it took off and had more views than Supergirl or something like that. Let's relax there, guys. Still did decent, though. But yeah. So, but it's just going to be interesting because, you know, it is Supergirl. It's Supergirl. You know? Some people would think that the next movie should be, if it was Wonder Woman, probably be more hyped. Batman, be way more hyped. Supergirl, kind of interesting. I just hope it's a sleeper hit. That's what I'm kind of hoping. I'm hoping that it's going to be some kind of sleeper hit. And there's already TV spots and everything. They already like released some TV spots, but we don't have to go over those. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and Superman 78 came out 47 years ago. Crazy, 47 years ago. Woo! That means Ben Everts was what, 15? Love you, Ben. I'm just kidding. All right. Now we got the Avengers trailer. That's right. We're supposedly going to be getting like 4 Avengers trailers, I think. Is that what's happening? I don't know. I'm trying to keep track of this whole thing. But yeah, apparently like when it comes to each week, when Avatar's out there, there's going to be like a different version of a trailer that is going to be out in theaters, which I'm just like going like, all right, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to get more people to go out into the movie theater, but it's like, hey, the first person that goes and sees next week, you know, after this week and sees next week and finds that trailer, it's just going to show up online, just like this first trailer showed up online. And yeah, guys, spoiler alert. Okay, I'm sounding the alarm. Do I even have that anymore? Jesus Christ, I don't even know my little thing right here anymore. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Okay. Not like it's really a spoiler because Steve Rogers is, of course he's coming back. Chris Evans is going to be back. What are we talking about here? That was the biggest thing that happened today. Now, yes, I did, because somebody sent it to me. Not new, you know, a couple people sent it to me. A few people sent it to me, of course. And naturally, I was like, fuck, I'm just going to watch it. I don't like watching bootleg trailers. I hate it. Bootleg anything. But I watched it. I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it. I'm not going to describe it, all right? I'm not going to make a video reacting to a bootleg trailer like a certain someone out there. I'll let you guess who did that bullshit today. Let's go! Let's go! It's peak! Oh! Yeah. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Fucking guy. Jesus Christ. The guy who has fucking big ass hands. That's for damn sure. I've shaken those hands. Anyways. But yeah. That guy, he's even expressed how he doesn't like the whole piracy thing, but yet he posted a video reacting to a boot. Oh, just terrible. Anyways, that's besides the point. So Steve Rogers is back. Steve Rogers is back like we didn't think he wasn't going to be back. We already were hearing stuff that they were filming things at that house that we saw in Endgame. Okay? Now, what's going to be interesting is like, okay, so what happens, you know, obviously if you know what happens in the trailer, which I'm not going to talk about, I'm not going to go over because it's not been officially released, but I'm just kind of wondering, okay, so how does Steve Rogers play into Doomsday? That's what's going to be interesting. And then, of course, there's reports out there from Scoopers, and there's rumors that he's actually going to be the main character in Doomsday. I don't know how. Again, take that with a grain of salt because I kept hearing that it was going to be Reed Richards. So I don't know what's going on with that, but you know, but it's kind of funny because I don't know how. There was a lot of people, of course, that were just pissed off because they're like, how dare Steve Rogers come back? How dare Chris Evans come back when he gave the shield to Sam Wilson, when Anthony Mackie is now Captain America? How dare you? I'm like, guys, hold on. Yeah, we got a bot. Somebody get that bot. Jesus Christ. Somebody. Come on, moderators. Jesus. Pump the brakes. You people out there that are losing your minds, and of course you're going to probably try to turn it into, oh yeah, you know, the black guy is going to have to give the shield back to the white guy. Look at Marvel Studios. No, pump the brakes. Chris Evans is not coming back to play Captain America. He's coming back to play Steve Rogers. Sam Wilson is still going to be Captain America, okay? There's even a rumor not too long ago that Steve Rogers is going to be Nomad. He's going to be the Nomad version. Sam Wilson is still going to be Captain America. Relax. I mean, that's when people were saying that. It's like, no, relax. I did run a poll, too, and I'm going to bring this up right now. And I'll check out some of the other polls as well when we get to that. But I wanted to show this poll right here because I have about 4,000 votes. Thank you, Droga, for doing that. But yeah, people were going crazy. So here's the poll that I ran today. It was like 5 hours ago. Are you excited for Steve Rogers returning in Avengers Doomsday? And according to my YouTube poll, 60% are very excited. 9% said nope. 20% said, I'm all right with it. 11% said, I don't care. So there you go. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because if you know the details of that trailer, you're like, okay, so how is this going to play in? Some people were even didn't understand how it was going to work because we saw old man Steve Rogers. I'm like, Jesus Christ, do you not know how time travel works? All right, so yeah, Marvel Studios, you should have just dropped the trailer. You should have just dropped it. I don't know who fucking dropped the ball on this one, but they should have just dropped it and just released a trailer. You might as well have, but of course, I think they have this whole thing where every trailer is going to be released every week. Apparently, I think there's going to be 3 or 4. There's going to be like, you know, in every trailer is going to be emphasized on a certain character. So there you go. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Now let's move over to the box office and what? We got a new $1 billion movie. That's right. Good Lord. So I think this is like the second $1 billion movie. Now we have 2 $1 billion movies this year, right? Because did Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion, right? Minecraft almost made $1 billion. But yeah, here's your box office right here. Zootopia, number 1, $25.9 million. And there it is right there, $1.13 billion. This fucking movie made $1 billion in, what, 3 weeks? And it's a PG movie. It broke a record because no other PG movie has ever done that. Man, that is crazy. It's just crazy how much, you know, and then internationally, like, why? Like, it's so crazy. Like again, the international took big time. International doesn't give fuck all about superhero movies. But they were like, hey, talking animals? Yep, that's our bag. Just crazy. Crazy how that is. Because it's only 258.5. So that's interesting. So now Disney's the top dog. We got Five Nights at Freddy 2. Let's see. Yeah, so that's at 173.5. Not doing too bad. I don't think the budget was too crazy. Wouldn't be surprised if they announced the third one. Wicked for Good. Wicked for Good can't even get to half a billion. Yeah, Wicked. This second Wicked movie, people were like, yeah, nah. First one was just, I saw really just nothing but glowing reviews besides the press junket and the cringy press junket with the 2 leads that were just, you know, still performing because, yeah. Other than that, I've been seeing such a mixed review for this second one. And I'm like going, hold on, let me see. What did the first one overall make at the box office? What did the first one make? Okay, so it made 758.7. I am curious. I don't think this one's not going to make as much as the first one. It might make $500 million. It might make the 500 million mark, but it's going to be about 200 shy of the first one. Oh, they already did? Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. So they already announced the Five Nights at Freddy 3. Well, that's good. Matthew Lillard did a Comic-Con stand. They already have a script. Cool. In your face, Quentin Tarantino. I have no idea what this movie is. Harandahar, a star-studded saga. Is this a India movie? Is that what I'm seeing here? Is it like a Bollywood type of movie? Star-studded, inspired by incredible true events set in a gritty criminal vein underworld, the backdrop of Indian patriotism. Yeah, these movies do well too. I mean, obviously. I mean, these like type of, I don't know if it's Bollywood or whatever the hell, but this is an Indian movie, so that's cool. I didn't even hear about this. Featuring action sequences, and I'm sure those action sequences are pretty damn awesome. What was that one movie that came out like a couple of years ago that was really, that was a fucking crazy movie, and I really enjoyed it. I forgot what movie that was from India. Shakespearean betrayals and trade crafts of espionage. Cool. Are people finally tired of Ariana Grande? I think Ariana Grande is tired of Ariana Grande. That girl needs to eat a sandwich. And then, of course, we have Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I don't know. Yeah, this is at 213. Not too bad. And then you had Ella McKay. This was a new movie that came out. Made 2.3. I can't imagine this budget was too crazy. So, and then they re-released The Grinch Stole Christmas. They re-released The Shining. So there you go. There's your box office right there. There's your box office. There was, RRR. That's what it was. RRR. That movie was insane. And it's a fun fucking movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen that movie is great. They do some good shit over there. I'm not going to lie. All right, let's talk about this Rob Reiner thing. My God. This is gross. This is just sickening. Because like I told you guys, I was gone all weekend. I get home, and I was essentially like I told you, I was at my dad's house, and I was already seeing all the craziness that had happened in Australia. So that was already like, there was a lot of that. We're watching football, so occasionally I'm looking at my Twitter feed and whatnot. And I'm just mainly seeing stuff when it comes to all that yesterday. And then we leave my dad's house, and I drove, so it's like about an hour and a half home from my dad's house. And then we had to make a stop at my nephew's house. So, about almost 2 hours before I fire up my computer, and I start bringing up shit, and I bring up my Twitter feed, and I start seeing, of course, comic book news bullshit. And then I see the first headline about 2 bodies found at Rob Reiner's house, his mansion, and the ages were like pretty close to Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. And I was like, what the hell? I'm like, was he renting? Was he doing were just people staying at his house? Was he renting? We're like, what the hell? Oh man, I hope it's not him. Hope it's not them. And then sure enough, update, it is Rob Reiner and his wife who were stabbed. And then the next thing that comes out is possible subject, their son. Suspect, not subject, suspect, their son. What? Jesus. It was just like one thing. I was like, holy crap. It was absolutely insane. I was like, it was just like, what the, oh man. And yeah, and then that was pretty much it. I remember I was hearing stuff that Billy Crystal, who lives down the street from him, he actually showed up. He saw Rob Reiner's body, which is like, that's crazy because they've been really good friends forever. Of course, there's Harry Met Sally, Rob Reiner movie. I mean, Rob Reiner had some good, just fucking, great hits. Stand By Me, Few Good Men, Spinal Tap. And then, of course, the ultimate, The Princess Bride. I mean, how many people have that movie in their top 5? How many people? Misery. That movie. Fuck. And he was not just a great movie director. He was also a great comedic actor. That's the thing. Dude was multi-talented. And forget all the fucking politics stuff. I hate that shit. And yeah, like I said, fucking Big Orange, our president, decided to, It's like, dude, did you really have to, God, that was just like, oh man. Why? Yes, he hated you. A lot of people do. And I get it, yeah, whatever. But it's just like, but then, yeah, the son is now in custody. Their daughter posted like some of the last images that she had with them, which is really sad. But yeah, this whole situation is going to be, I mean, I'm sure we're going to be finding out more stuff. Apparently, they were at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, and they had a big blowout. Him and his son had a big blowout. But I'm like, what the fuck was like leading his son to, and it wasn't, and then the details came out that they weren't stabbed. Throats slit. What the F? Jesus. Just so freaking gross, man. You have never seen The Princess Bride? Fire that thing up right now. But yeah, man, I'm like, yeah, it's just gross. It's no way you want to see anybody like go out, man. It's just so freaking gross. But yeah, apparently, and it's all alleged. We don't know for sure. He is a suspect. He is in custody, but yeah, it was revealed. I mean, obviously, the report was that their throats were slit. It wasn't a stabbing. And I'm just like, man, if it ends up being where their son actually did that, it's like, what the hell set that guy off? What set him off? Ugh, just absolutely crazy. So yeah, may they rest in peace. Iconic director, you know, classic movies. I haven't seen Spinal Tap 2 yet. I will watch that soon. But yeah, the first Spinal Tap was that's one of my favorite movies of his. So of course, you know, Few Good Men is really good. I actually watched that not too long ago too. I put that on not recently, but like a couple years ago. I hadn't seen it in a long time. Misery is a great movie. Yeah, just pretty freaking crazy, man. Just absolutely insane. And you know, I saw, you know, of course, everybody in Hollywood was talking, you know, positive about him. And then again, like I said, I know he got really heavily into political stuff, but I love the fact, you know, of course, there's always going to be the sick weirdos out there, just like it was when, you know, when people on the right get killed and then people are celebrating. Yeah, I saw that disgusting shit too. But it was nice to see like people who, you know, didn't agree with his politics go, yeah, and even push back against Trump, going like, you know, why yeah, that is a bad take. What you posted, dude, that's a really bad take. But he had to do it. He had to do it, right? Where is the T from on your Batman shirt? I could guess the rest. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, and you can get this shirt, too, down on Teespring. So, yeah. But again, yeah, like I said, Rob Reiner, rest in peace and everything, and his wife, Michelle. Terrible, absolutely terrible. But yeah, if you're wondering, so it's obviously it's the B from the Batman 66, Batman 89, the A. This is from Batman Forever. This is the Batman Forever T. I was like, yeah, when I was like trying to find the shirt, I was like, yeah. And then of course the Batman the animated series, and then Batman Beyond. Yeah, I was like, because I saw somebody else do like a version of that, but they did it so terribly. I'm like, wait, you guys didn't do it right. Because they only did the movies. And I'm like, no, you got to incorporate all of it. So I just like, yeah. But yeah, the T is from Batman Forever. Because that had a pretty significant font. Anyways. Thanks. Like I said, you can get the shirt down in the Film Junkee closet down below. Yeah, I had to reorder it because the one I had, during the move, you know, it got messed up when I moved into this new house. So, all right, let's look at some of the other polls that I ran in the past week. You know, because I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to, you know, it helps, you know, engagement when it comes to the channel and everything. Like I already showed that poll. So I ran this poll earlier today too, about 8 hours ago. 1.8K votes. I said, okay, now that you've seen the Supergirl, what are you most looking forward to? And because I ran a poll before the trailer came out, I'm like, what are you most looking forward to? And Lobo seems to be what everybody's looking forward to. It's a Supergirl movie. And man, people are mainly looking forward to the main man, I tell you. So yeah, Lobo won this round. 67%, Kara 25%, Kara Ruthie 4%, Crypto 5%. Oh man. And then I even ran a poll. I was like, what did you think of the Street Fighter sneak peek? 24% Epic. 47%, most people on this poll with 4.6K votes said it's fine. 16%, need more. 14%, garbage. And then, of course, when I asked, hey, what did you think of the Supergirl trailer? We got over 9,000 votes on this one. So 47% loved it. 30%, it was fine. 18%, And then 5% hated it. Hated it. If you guys know where that's from, hated it. You're a real one. You're a real one if you know where that one's from. And I think that was it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, there was like the original right there. I already ran that one. So there you go. Now let's get to some Twitter questions. See what you guys are saying over here on the tweets. All right, make sure there's no craziness. What the hell? No, that's not the same person. All right. All right, Mr. Laugh Now, Cry Later. Darren, seeing how great Andy directed his episodes of Welcome to Derry, I hope he gets to really do his thing with Batman and add some horror elements. That's what I'm hoping for to it. Let's see how Batman looks from a point of view of robbers. Yeah, let's get, which we've seen before. But yeah, he can add a little bit of that element to it. It'd be so freaking awesome. Eric Blake, hey Dave, we all know Rob Reiner's classics from the 80s and 90s, Spinal Tap, Princess Bride, Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally, American President. I forgot about American President. That's a pretty good movie too. My mom actually went to that world premiere. She won tickets to the world premiere of American President when that came out. That was pretty cool. I found myself wondering, did he do anything big after that? He really didn't. Like when it came into the 2000s, let me look that up. I'm like, I know he did Spinal Tap 2, which he's been wanting to do, but he really didn't do, like when it came into the 2000s, like he had a fucking crazy run of movies when it came to the 80s and 90s. But I'm like trying to think like, oh, he did Rumor Has It. Oh, that Jennifer Aniston movie. Or was he just in it? See, I think he did a lot of acting in his later years. He didn't do as much directing, but I remember he showed up in Wolf of Wall Street. He had like a great little cameo in Wolf of Wall Street. Like he was like, that like kind of meta weird. Let's see. I hate IMDb. IMDb on the app is so much better. Why is it not showing me director, you dumb fucking thing? He did Albert Brooks Defending My Life. That's an older movie, that's a good movie. What? That was 2023? That was probably a re-release. LBJ. He did LBJ in 2016. He said he did Being Charlie in 2015. And So It Goes in 2014. The Magic of Belle Isle. 8 Flipped. The Bucket List. That was a good one when it came to Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson. The Bucket List was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, oh yeah, he did Ghosts of Mississippi. I forgot about that movie. That was a good one. North, I never saw North, but yeah, Few Good Men. Like when it came to like the 80s and 90s, Few Good Men, Misery, When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, Stand By Me. I mean, that's 5 movies. That is 5 movies right there, iconic movies right there. Stand By Me, Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, and A Few Good Men. Those are fucking 5 iconic movies. What's The Sure Thing? That sounds familiar. Is that with John Cusack? Yeah. I don't think that one was as iconic, but hey. Oh, that's right. He was what's her name's fucking dad in the New Girl. She Deschanel. What's her name? Zoe Deschanel's dad in New Girl. I like that series. That was a good series. But yeah, he acted in so many things. He did a lot of acting in his later years for sure, so good stuff. Yeah, he did The Bucket List. The Bucket List was a great fucking movie. So I would say that was probably his most like popular movie in this millennium. I would say that is that. So that's cool. He was Leo's dad. That's right. He was Leo's dad in that. Yeah, that's right. He was Leo's dad in that movie. That's cool. Let's see, Rez97. Hey Dave, I watched Baby Driver after so long since 2017 in the theater, and man, that movie's a gem. John Hamm was incredible in it. After seeing him in that, he'd be a perfect pick to play Harvey Dent. Yeah, I've actually said that he would be pretty good as a Harvey Dent. He would have been a good Batman at one point too, to be honest. But I see that. Yeah, Baby Driver, great fucking movie. Edgar Wright doing Edgar Wright things. I mean, sadly, The Running Man, that movie fell flat. I've been seeing there's like when I've scrolled through TikTok, there's like a dude who's been breaking down the new Running Man movie, and man, he makes it just, he makes me go, oh yeah, this movie was just not thought out. It just wasn't. Like, it wasn't super terrible, but man, it just did not hit. I was hoping that movie was going to hit. Devin Woocher, hey Dave, I really love the Supergirl trailer. It looks awesome, but people are complaining about the trailer. It was garbage, and holy shit, welcome to Derry. The finale was so awesome. What's your favorite Rob Reiner movie, and what's your thoughts about the Street Fighter trailer? Well, I already said, yeah. Princess Bride, I'm up, let's face it. I watched that movie so many goddamn times when I was a kid, and, but, Misery's up there, that movie, Jesus Christ. I would say that Princess Bride. And, Street Fighter trailer was insanity. I thought it was great. And then I got this, I don't know what the hell this is, Discussing Fishing parody account. I think this is probably that my trolling, my troll that shows up here and does all that stuff. So, Jamon Watson. Hey, Dave, I made my piece for a long time with comic book movies and CBM discourse on Twitter, and by the end of the day, you can't please everyone. That's true. All we could do is just enjoy what they are. You never know when. Yeah, I mean, I know. I just, I've always wanted to call out the bullshit, and, the scoopers are just getting more annoying, and stuff. And then Joshua G, Dylan. Dylan G. I still don't know why Twitter always puts you in probable spam category. Killer of the Flower Moon is hitting physical finally. Wow, that took a while. Good movie. I only watched it. I watched it in the theater, which was great. I haven't watched it again, but good movie. That was a really good movie. I think I actually enjoyed that movie more than The Irishman when it came to Scorsese's latest stuff. But yeah. I think Killer of the Flower Moon was actually... I think there could have been a little bit... I had a little bit... some grievances when it came to certain things, but... yeah. Anyways, what the fuck is that? I have no idea what that video was. Somebody sending me... like I said, I think it's... I have a troll who shows up in here, and he shows up in my mentions. AI is just getting better and better, folks. That's for damn sure. That's why I question everything. When I first saw things from the leaked Avengers trailer, I also saw bullshit images and videos that were on my feed. I was like going, I don't know which is which. But then when I got, the same one sent to me a couple of times, I was like, oh, okay, so that's the actual one. But yeah, there was other ones out there too, because somebody could just easily do that. That's the thing. It's like, I don't know what is real. I don't know what's not. I mean, the AI is just getting so freaking crazy, man. I tell you. All right, guys, that is today's show. Thank you guys for spending some time with me. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that like, thumbs up. And hey, leave a comment. Leave a comment down below. Like I said, it helps out the algorithm and everything, so I appreciate you guys do all that. If you're on Patreon, I will be posting a post show. I didn't post a Sunday evening hangover podcast last night because, I had a long weekend. I just was not, and then all the craziness that was happening, with the Rob Reiner stuff and everything. It's just I didn't feel like posting a podcast last night. So next weekend I will though, and then hopefully, like I said, maybe this weekend we could do the Patreon/members if you guys want to come on and have be part of the panel for a Saturday version of the Vox stream. I think maybe, like I said, we'll play it by ear because holidays and everything. As of right now, I have something going on in the morning, but I don't know if the evening. So we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know if that could happen. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your nights. Have a good Tuesday. I'll see you members for the Members Only Film Junkie Live on Wednesday. And then, of course, we have Fanimated. And then, of course, look for all the videos that I'll be posting and clips and everything. All right, guys. Love ya. Talk to you later.